Strategy, last minute's words of encouragement as we are at the Sunrise Conference Championship. Game 1, there'll be at least 2 games because you have to take 2 of 3, and it's Fisher College taking on the host CSJ squad. And of course, you're looking at Melissa Pike, very talented, very good left-handed pitcher out there for CSJ. We're at St. Joseph home fields, College of St. Joseph the provider. And boy, what a difference a week makes. Last week, these 2 teams played in a regular season game. They had to play it at Meadow Street North because of the rain conditions washed out the field, but today it's literally in the 80s, and that's going to be a foul ball down the first baseline for strike 2. Yeah, last week's doubleheader was swept by CSJ. Both games were shortened to the mercy rule, and a different weekend, different outcome, different weather. I expect a whole different contest. Fisher College played in the blue, and you're looking at Brianna Villamere. So Villamere, the shortstop, down in the count 0-2, and Pike will tickle the corner, but on it get the call, and it will become ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We scheduled for 7. Like I said, it's an 8-run mercy rule. You have to, team trailing has to have 5 full innings at bat. And that's going to be put down to third base. Landsberg with a clean grab to throw, and nice scoop over there by Filiberto at first base, and that'll be the first out. And Pike, before the game, was kind of by herself, looking a little antsy, and I didn't really want to talk to her and disturb her, but I just said to her, you look a little nervous, and she said, I am a little nervous today, and that's a good thing, really. If you come into a championship series or any game emotionless, you shouldn't be there. And she's got the butterflies ready to play. Michelle Olivero up, the third baseman, will take strike 1. Pike, like any pitcher, once they feel confident, got their pitches working, they'll catch and fire. They won't waste a lot of time. They'll get a rhythm going. And that will just be high outside, 1-1. Stevie Morrow behind the plate. Carlton Laird down at first base. That's your umpires for today's game number 1 in the Sunrise Conference Championship. Of course, CSJ, College of St. Joseph, the provider, is the defending Sunrise Conference champions. Looking to defend their championship here. And quite literally, no breeze today at all. A high sun. It's noontime start. And when I got here, the temperature was already at 77. Expected to peak out around 4 o'clock. And they'll be high for a ball. So in a 2-2 count with nobody on, Olivero with Jackie Streeter on deck. Streeter will be the catcher defensively when she gets up there. Remember, she was one of the pitchers of record last week. And they'll be outside, and we're into a full count now. So Pike has been playing with that outside corner, and she got ahead in the count. Now it's down to a full count to Olivero. Again, you're watching PEGTV, Channel 15 Sports, Public Access Television, Munger Vision, and that's going to be crammed and going to be foul ball. I mean, that was just inches foul. So they got around and they timed it and pulled it, and Olivero gave it a ride, and that was just basically tickling the chalk right there. CSJ, you have Maria Filiberto at first, Lisa Lawrence is at second, Tahara Pleasure is your shortstop, and Lori Landsberg, of course, is the third baseman. That's Amy Edge, a new player to my roster out there in left field. Vicky Geddes in center, and Jessica Rubel is in right. Maureen Tompkins, strike 3 right, down the pipe from Pike, and it'll be strikeout number 1 for Pike. I believe she had 9 in the game last week against Fisher College. Now Jackie Streeter up. Like I said, starting off at the catcher spot, she was the pitcher last week in game number 2 and also the shortstop in game number 1. And they've rearranged their lineup and shaken things up a little bit. And Andrea Hayes is the head coach at Fisher College. And that will be high for a ball. So looking for a 1-2-3. First inning of work is Melissa Pike. Again, an outfield very shallow right now, and quite a few gaps out there, so playing straight away. 1-1 the count. And again, if you need information about PEGTV Sports, you can go to the website, www.pegtv.com. That's PEGTV. You can also, when you're on the website, click on Video on Demand under any programming you want, whether it's a game, a parade, a talk show, and watch it right there on your computer. That is a great feature. It's one of the best updates they've done. And then always click on Sports Beat and watch it. Oh, that was a little high, Steve said, behind the plate. So it goes to a 3-1 count. So the last 2 batters have gotten the count into the 3-ball range. And that'll be a walk, so she will look like a changeup. It kind of fluttered in there, and I'm not sure if it was or not, but it'll become the first base runner, and it'll be a walk. And Nicole Blanchard is the center fielder. She was the catcher in both games last weekend, and a very good catcher, but they got her out in center today, and she's batting cleanup. And one thing that Fisher College was very reluctant last weekend's games was running the bases. They weren't very aggressive. They didn't steal, they didn't small ball, they didn't slap. There's a strike. Of course, Tompkins behind the plate with just a wicked, strong, accurate arm. So with 2 down, Fisher College with the first base runner of the game in Jackie Streeter sitting down there at first. And they'll be high and outside. When Pike misses, it is that high outside range most of the time is where she misses 2. And basically, she's usually always in control and got good velocity on the ball. Now it's going to be a foul ball down the first baseline, so jammed her and couldn't pull it and goes down for a strike. So they retrieve the ball and bring it back in. Of course, remember last weekend, Jessica Rubel, the right fielder for CSJ, took a hard pitch from Streeter off the leg and stayed in the ball game, and seems to have no ill effects from that being hit by the pitch at all. In warm-ups, I was watching her, she seemed fine, very mobile. That's going to be foul ball and out of play, and yep, over into the Fisher College bench area, and I'll just stay with a 2-strike count. Tompkins gave it a run and picked it up and tossed it back into play, but even if she would have caught it, it was out of play, so with a dead ball to begin with. Again, a very good defensive team out there for CSJ. A lot of veteran players. Take that left side of the infield with Landsberg and Pleasure at third. Then up the middle with Tompkins, Pike, and Getty, and she went up the ladder and couldn't get her to chase it. And that's a very disciplined at bat so far right here for Blanchard. Like I said, Blanchard was very impressive last weekend in a losing effort. Yeah, and she's what they're doing different right now compared to last week, as this goes to the 3rd batter in a row to get that 3 balls in the count. We have a full count. Is they're making Pike pitch. They're not they're not taking swings at those borderline pitches. They're making her come in. And that's going to be driven and caught by Lawrence. No, she'll drop it and fumble it, and yeah, everybody's going to be safe. So we'll have an error on the play. We'll put runners at first and second for Fisher College. All this taking place after the first 2 batters were retired. Now Sonia Newton, who is going to be the pitcher for Fisher College in the first game here, and was the pitcher in the first game last weekend. And she didn't throw tremendous velocity, but she was mixing up her placement of the pitches, and that'll be a ball. So Pike right now trying to get that elusive 3rd out, get out of the top half of the first in their home field and keep the game scoreless. Of course, Fisher College, again, I'm watching them on the base pass, very content to just sit on the dishes right now. So in a 1-1 count, Pike, again, what I'm talking about, just automatically I can see her, right off the bat I can see is that they're not, like that pitch right there is a real borderline pitch, and they're not offering at them. They're not helping the pitcher out, getting ahead of the count. They're making her come to the plate. So Newton with a 2-1 count. And she went up and chased that one, and this is going to be Filiberto Tompkins, and she was out of play. She tried, she tumbled, and gave it a good effort, but that's a good hustle play. It's out of bounds, out of play, and that's going to be 2 strikes, 2 balls. 2 down, 2 on. A lot of deuces here in the top half of the first. Yeah, and they talk over some strategy now between the pitcher and the catcher on their way back to the positions after chasing down that foul ball. Yeah, so Newton stepping back in there and trying to help her cause out and drive in the game's first run. Good arms in the outfield, except for Edge. I'm not sure, but I'm not saying she doesn't. I'm saying I don't know. I haven't seen the new player, Amy Edge, bat or throw yet. So I can tell you, though, you take Rubel and Getty, and very good arms right there in the outfield. Yeah, so they'll stay even in a 2-2 count. This is a Sunrise Conference Championship, Game 1, and that's going to be hit to Lawrence. She'll stay down on it this time, toss to first. That's the inning. They'll strand 2. Pike will get out of there with 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and CSJ coming up to the plate. Right there, the first batter in the lineup. She'll be coming up against Sonia Newton, and Jackie Streeter will be the catcher. That'll be the battery out there for Fisher College, and they stranded 2 people on in that first inning of play, walking an error, and see Sonia Newton right there. Like I said, she pitched the first game of the doubleheader last week. Went to 5 innings, took the loss in the Mercy Rule game. Streeter will be the catcher, and I'll set the rest of that defensive lineup for you for Fisher College right now. If you're watching college softball action on Munger Vision on PEGTV Sports, since Landsberg was one of the players of the game last week, and we'll have the White Birch Realty player of the game again. If not at the conclusion of this game, we'll save both players for the end of the second game. Boy, she wastes no time in getting at the third, the first, and one pitch, one down. Didn't even get to tell you the defensive alignment. That was at third base right there, and that was Michelle Olivero. So a 5-3 ground out to get things underway, and now Vicky Getty up as she's batting number 2 in the lineup today. The center fielder is. And you can see Getty taking some warm-up swings again. Beautiful, clear, sunny day. I'll be more on the ball now. I didn't know Landsberg was going to jump on that like that, and there's going to be strike 1. So Newton, like I said, a lot of off-speed stuff. Got to hit the spots, move the ball around. Very seldom does she really crank up the speed on the pitches, but you don't really have to if you've got your control and your defense behind you. That was one thing. I think it was a 6-run first inning last ball game last weekend between these two schools. But the defense made some mistakes behind Newton, and that's going to be off the fist, and that might drop in. That's just going to be over the second baseman's head and in front of the right fielder. And Getty will take that, as was a fister, for a base hit. Now, something very deep contrast in the two schools is watch how aggressive they'll be now on the bases with the runners once they get on base. And now Irene Tompkins is coming up to the plate with 1 out, 1 on. Snacks, as they call her, that's her nickname. She'll step up there, and again, she had conference with Coach Serrani, and could be a play on here. It could be just to make the other team think there's a play on here. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of power in that bat of Tompkins, so she can leave the yard with one swing. Now, she showed bunt and dead. That's a beautiful bunt, and they're going to have it. They got a runner caught up. That's Getty between second and third, and she's trying to keep the play alive, and they'll drop the ball. Getty will shift gears, and she's going to be safe. Yeah, it's a tag play. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't pretty at first, but she got the third. And, of course, Tompkins smartly took second base on the trail, so that bunt actually becomes a double. And now Tahara Pleasure up with 2 on and 1 out. And this is what I was talking about, real contrast in the two team styles. You see Pleasure right there, Getty right behind her in the background. Beautiful angle to shoot from right here at ground level. But the aggressive base running, putting CSJ in position now with just 1 down and 2 runners in scoring position, where a wild pitch, pass ball, or an error, besides a base hit, will help them get a run in. Oh, you gotta be aggressive by running the bases, whether it's softball or it's baseball, whether it's little league or college or pro. So again, Newton, a little bit of a jam here because of some indecisions and some defensive lapses being executed behind her for Fisher College. Yeah, last week, remember the gusting 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds, the driving rain, the flooded fields. Got the games in on Munger Vision, and they'll be stopped by Streeter. Nice scoop by Streeter. You know, there isn't a lot of space between home base and the backstop here. It would take quite a wild pitch to bring her runner home from third. 3-0 the count. The Tahara Pleasure. And she'll work it for a walk, and she had that disgusted look. She wanted to swing away, but she didn't offer up at a pitch out of the strike zone either, so that's a good play. And now Melissa Pike, the pitcher, up with the bases juiced. 1 down, and the only good thing about this is you have a force out at any base, and it also increases your odds of being able to turn a double play and get out of the inning with no runs coming in. They bring the left fielder, Jessica Augusta, in about 10 feet. And they've got a shift on, very noticeable shift to the right side of the outfield for Pike, and she's been hitting the ball very well. Pike has, and close play down at third, and she'll be back safe just ahead of the tag. And again, anything on the bases to distract the pitcher, break the rhythm, disrupt the tempo of the game. And that's what CSJ coach Lori Serrani has her team doing. They do it very well. And good eye right there by Pike as she'll lay off the pitch. It came in across the numbers, the letter area of her jersey, and that'll be a ball. Yeah, so we're going to have a conference between Streeter and Newton, the pitcher and the catcher. And I'll move to the front ground. See Coach Lori Serrani. She'll talk to Melissa Pike, and I'll keep both meetings right there in the lens. And again, when you shoot ground level, boy, you get a real feel for the game, the real grit and texture of the game. And As long as you don't get popped with the softball, then it's okay. You see, there is no screen or mesh in front of me. This is just ignorance, they call it, I guess. So Newton got to come in in the strike zone, and she won't. She come in high. And again, the patience Fisher College showed at the plate. CSJ showing the same patience here in the bottom of the first, making Newton bring it down into the strike zone. And she's taking all the way, and that one's right down the pipe to Pike. It makes it a 3-1 count. And I didn't even get a chance to say it. That 3-0 pitch, usually the best pitch to hit in the count, whether it's baseball or softball. Yeah, she'll walk in the run. The game's first run will come in via the walk. And of course, that's Vicky Getty crossing the plate. Everybody will move up, and that's also going to be the bases still loaded for Maria Filiberto. So Filiberto at first base defensively at the plate. And the table set for a big inning, just like the last time these two schools met in the first game of a doubleheader last weekend. So Filiberto, usually a good contact hitter, showed slap, brought the ball back. Nice job by Streeter, the catcher, going up and making the grab. Then wanted to pump fake down the first. Streeter, an outstanding athlete anyways. Like I said, we've seen her pitcher, catcher, shortstop in 2 weekends of work, plus her other sports that she plays. Then they show slap again, and that was a floater outside high. Again, they're getting to the position here. Newton is where she's hurting herself, getting behind in the count. But they're not nibbling, not going to go at the pitches on the borderline. She puts that in play, and that's a chance for the force out. She'll be in safe. So Tahara Pleasure coming right at the camera for you. I tell you can't get any closer to the real action. And just the way the ball was played through the pitcher's glove. I wanted to correct myself. Tompkins has scored. Pleasure ended up at third base. Pike's at first. Filiberto on the fielder's choice is at. Let me do this again. Pike second, Pleasure third. Filiberto first, and now Jessica Rubel up. Still just the one out, 2 runs in for CSJ. I'll tell you, Filiberto down at first base, back ahead of the throw, but Streeter with that good arm. She better hope her first baseman's alive and well down there as far as being ready to receive that throw down, as that's Libby Whitcomb. And Rubel will get out of the way of that pitch. Remember, she got hit by Streeter last week. Right around, about 2 inches above the knee. Not gun shy. She got right back in there and finished the game out. So Rubel, bases loaded, 1 down, 2-0 CSJ, top of the first, then it'll be ball 3. Or 2. 3-0, I'm right. 3 balls, no strikes. So Newton, an all familiar position here that she doesn't like. Being down in the count, bases loaded in order to put the walk in Rubel. Oh, it just missed outside. She rut the pitch down, but missed the strike zone, and that will bring in Tahara Pleasure now. I crossed that out earlier, and mistake 3 runs in now. Filiberto will go to second, Rubel will go to first, and Nakia Vincent, the DH, up. Vincent, remember last week, was able to get the bat on the ball pretty well also. And she will talk to Coach Serene, and again, the makings of yet another big first inning for CSJ. They do have the mercy rule, 5 innings for the team who's behind. They have to have 5 at-bats and be behind by 8 or more runs. And Vincent will. Then you can see Rubel back to first base on the throw, and that's twice now. Streeter snapped the throw off down to first. Then this is Sunrise Conference Championship weekend. This is game number 1. You got to win 2 of 3, and you will win the Sunrise Conference Championship. Last year it was CSJ that won it. They got to play in the big national tournament, and they're looking to defend their championship this year. Like I said, a very veteran club. And that'll miss inside. And I'll tell you, Newton again with a lot of pitches spent here in this first inning. She's at another 3-ball count. Good pitch, good pitch. That time, too, she had a little more velocity on it, a little more relaxed in her release. Against CSJ, just the 3 runs so far. They really had a chance to put the bat on the ball. It's been errors and walks, and that'll be another walk. That'll be the 4th run of the ball game. Pike will come in to score. And again, the only out was Landsberg, the first batter. Crushed the ball down to third base. Played now Lisa Lawrence up. And she is the 9th batter to come to the plate. And top of the order, Landsberg will be on deck. And I think this is a much needed, if not a little bit late in being called, timeout by Fisher College, as they've kind of got to get refocused here. They had a chance on a ground ball back up the middle to at least get the 2nd out. Had a little problem coming up with it, and then they elected to come home on the force out and were late. So again, they had the 1 down. Lawrence, a good contact hitter, and the thing about Lawrence too is that she's got pretty good speed out of the box. So again, the only bright side to this is if the base is loaded, you do have the force out at any base, but you also have the odds go up. Combination of being able to make a double play and get out of this inning and just keep it at the 4-run deficit. So Newton, as Lawrence squares, slaps, and that's going to find us. That's going to drop in there. They still might get it out here. No, they're going to have at least 1 run. And Filiberto came in, and again, that is the beauty of being aggressive on the bases and at the plate. That was they showed bunt. They had the infielder drawn way in. Top of the order, Landsberg up. She grounded out to the 3rd baseman in this inning. She'll look down to Coach Serrani, get the sign, and she up by 5 runs right now. But again, it's getting back to the aggressive game running. Or running in the game. Oh, Landsberg. They got a chance to come home, and again, that's some bad decision making, as they had a better play to go across the diamond because they had to throw over the top of the runner to Streeter. And that was a tough angle to take the throw. So Rubel will score. Vincent will go to 3rd. Lawrence will end up at 2nd. Landsberg at 1st, and Getty up. But that slap play worked because they showed bunt, drew the infield in, and that ball was hit just enough to go over the drawn-in infield and find a hole to fall into. I got to keep track here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 runs in, so they've matched last week's start to the first game of the doubleheader last week against the same pitcher. And Newton getting high with the pitch. She's missing her release point right now is what the problem is. When she does throw the ball well, watch how relaxed her arm is, and her front foot comes right toward home base. That'll be a throw down to 1st, and Landsberg will be safe at 1st. Got a little extra aggressive tag there. And Fisher College has dug themselves a hole here in the first inning, and they're not done yet as CSJ. And that's going to be out of play. That'll be a foul ball over the first baseline, obviously back to the school. And you got the high school all-star basketball game coming up from CSJ's athletic complex in June. Going to have more information on that as we get closer to that date. And that's going to be a foul ball. She got around, pulled it, and foul. In a long first inning for Fisher College. CSJ with their 11th batter at the plate. Getty singled and scored in this inning. And back up there again. So Newton would love to get double play and get out of here. Foul ball. She elevated the pitch just a tad, and Getty trying to keep laying back on that weight off the front foot, as long as she could, fouled it off. Tell you what, Streeter is impressive behind the plate because she has chattered the whole first inning. She's talked it up. And that's going to be skipped in the dirt for a ball, and she'll lose her on yet another walked-in run, and this time will be Nakia Vincent coming in to score. And they're going to hang in there with Tompkins up. They're going to stay with Newton. So 7 runs so far in the first inning. And Tompkins up for the 2nd time this inning also. She singled and scored. where she had to bunt down. That's going to be to the backstop. Lawrence coming home, and the throw is going to be wide of the target, and that run will score. And they're going to try to send Landsberg, and she's going to be out, yeah. As Newton took the throw, and there's the second out of the inning. So for trivia question, it's both outs to this point have been made by Landsberg. Getty ends up at third, and Tompkins at the plate with 2 down now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-0 CSJ, bottom of the first over Fisher College in Game 1 of the Sunrise Conference Championship game. Well, now it's on the wrong side, as that will be. See Tompkins getting situated in the batter's box, getting a lot of power. They had her bunt the first time, and it worked out for him. That's going to be down to third, and the throw will end the inning, but it'll be a 8-run first inning, 8-0 CSJ over Fisher College. So Pike, those nerves should be gone now. Her team's giving her an 8-0 lead to work with. And there's a ball. Now we're going to be looking at the order of Jessica Augusta, Libby Whitcomb, and then Danielle Palmerino due up. But Curtis batting in that 4 spot if they get that far into the order. They did have 2 base runners on in that first inning. One on a walk, one on an error. There was 1 strikeout. Landsberg getting extremely tight at the corner at third, and that'll be off the glove of Tompkins to the backstop for a ball. And again, Pike wasn't as sharp in that first inning as we have seen her throughout the season, but like I said, she was kind of antsy before the ball game. Sometimes you don't see her do, and there's the strikers are taken all the way. So it goes to 3 balls and 1 strike to Jessica Augusta of Fisher College. And then she'll have a walk to lead things off. So I think at some point, you kind of got to get the hint when I'm talking about not having an aggressive base running game that's really hurting Fisher College, and they've got to kind of take it up to the college level now and get aggressive on those base paths. They're down 8 runs. They've been swept last weekend in a doubleheader. Witt came up for the first time, the first baseman. And again, they don't show a bunt, they don't show a slap, and the runner at first base never made an inkling like she's going to break towards second. And it's pretty easy. You leave that defense in a stationary position out there, and they don't have to worry about shifting around because of an aggressive running game, which incorporates the bunt and the slap also. Oh, just too much power. His whip can't catch up to the Pike fastball. And it goes to a 2-strike count now. Yeah, Pike with the 1 strikeout. And there is going to be a game 2 no matter what. You have to win 2 of the 3 games to win the championship. And that one missed outside. And she's, to Fisher College's credit at the plate, they have been patient and they have made Pike come into the strike zone, and they haven't offered up those borderline call pitches there. And that's going to be a dribbler picked up. Oh, and then she passed up throwing to first. She looks. It looked like that they had Landsberg looked like she still had to play it first on that ground ball. And Palmerino coming up. So Palmerino, again, here's Fisher College. Nobody down, first and second. Now's the time to do something out of your pattern, out of your normal routine. Like, yep, little small ball. Now he's going to be bunted foul. Palmerino, the number 8 hitter in the order. Cordos is on deck for Fisher College. Again, Pike talking to her catcher, Tompkins, and Pike just doesn't look comfortable today. She's got first and second, top of the second, 8-0. CSJ with the lead. But Fisher College right here, get right back in the ball game right here with a beginning of their own. Oh, now they put themselves in a position. They took the bunt off with an 0-1 count, had her swing through. Now it's 0-2. Doesn't automatically mean that you're not going to not bunt, but the odds are you're taking yourself out of the bunt situation or the small ball situation. And even if they showed slap, you wouldn't have to respect it right now because they haven't established the perspective for a slap or a bunt. Strike 3 looking. Oh, boy, you want to be blunt? What a waste of that bat. once you start with the bunt, stay with the bunt. So 1 out, 2 on. Runners never got to move up, and Anna Cortez up. She's the number 9 hitter, then the top of the order here for Fisher College. They'll be inside for a ball. At the college level, and I forget how many games I've done this season for CSJ, I haven't seen an opponent come in without any, I guess, game plan for running. I mean, it's one thing to send people up to bat, and it's good if you can crush the ball. They haven't established that yet, but I mean, when you get people on with errors and walks, you've got to manufacture an offense. And this team's the first team I've seen. Oh, I get to cover a lot of high school ball that teams are playing like college teams at the high school. That Mill River squad down there, which I'll have more Mill River girls softball action, more MSA boys baseball action for you. But, because what I'm trying to get at is when Fisher College, in the 3 games that I've seen so far, when they get people on base, unless somebody's going to crank a base hit and drive them around, or an error, you're pretty much going to be standing on the base watching the batter just not slap, not bunt. That's pops in the glove for a ball. So again, Pike getting off the hook here. She's at another full count, but so far hasn't bit her in the butt. That's going to be to Pike. She'll go to third and get the force out, and that's 2 down now. So again, Pike will take the lead out runner. Once that becomes a force out, 1-5. Whitcomb moves up to second. Cortez goes to first on the fielder's choice. In top of the order, Villamere up. She grounded out 6-3. She grounded out to the shortstop, Tahara Pleasure. And you can see that was high and tight, and had the batter, Villamere, bending back out of the way of that one. So that second inning in a row, Fisher College with 2 runners on base, and for the second inning in a row, in danger of not sending one around to score. They're down 8 runs in the second. There's a good pitch at the knee outside corner, and makes it a 1-1 count. And again, I think Pike would agree with me. She has not had her A game so far, but she also has not been challenged to that point where it's hurt her. Lori Serrani, the head coach here at College of St. Joseph's. Oh. It was close. So the bat choked way up on her, hands way up on the bat. Villamere will fall that one straight back, and she had a good rip at that one. Yeah, she had her weight coming forward, timed out pretty well actually. So Pike will come in, and again, Pike just looks antsy now when she's pitching. Look, she doesn't look comfortable. Doesn't look like she's having any fun. And that has not been the Melissa Pike I've watched all season. On a day like this, she might rather be at the beach. I don't know. Oh, great pitch. That's the Pike I know. She'll strike her out in the threat, and they'll leave 2 more on. So they've stranded 4 runners and 2 innings of work. Pleasure will be leading things off here for CSJ. Number 13, their shortstop, also a very good player having that leadoff spot here in this inning. She's got good speed, makes contact, good athlete. It'll be Pleasure, Pike, Filiberto, and Rubel, the 4 possibles. Here in the bottom of the second, 8-0 CSJ, as Newton back out there on the circle and Streeter behind the dish. And they need a scoreless defensive inning right now. No analytical necessity, nothing analyzed there. Just you need it, and Coach Serrani ducking out of the way of that. Pulled line drive down toward third base. Of course. So they retrieve the foul ball, bring it back into play, and I'll set the defense for you after this pitch to Tahara Pleasure as Newton up in the count 0-1. And that's a position she wasn't very used to, being up in the count. That's to second base. They'll flip and get the leadoff batter out. That is big. So there is 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the second. That's going to be a 4-3 ground out. Now Melissa Pike up. She walked and scored in the first. That first inning, 12 batters came to the plate for CSJ, and Pike represents the only left-handed bat in that order. Like I said, they have a new player on the roster who's eligible in Edge, Amy Edge, but she's not hitting in this ball game. And I don't know if she bats right or left. Isn't that awful? I gotta get my homework done, huh? In PEGTV, channel 15. It's gonna be a foul ball out of play. The program director, Tommy Leipold, he puts on 4 o'clock every Saturday the games of the week. Whoever hands in what sports that week, they load up the server and they just play it. It's a great feature, and I've heard nothing but positive people talking about, oh, that's cranked, that is gone, that is going to be long gone. Pike, if she muster up enough juice here, could have a home run. Well, I'll tell you, she's a lot of arms and legs when she runs, and they're going to hold her at third base with a triple. And I'm just picking on her. She hit that almost to Castleton State College. Got a triple out of it. So with a 1-out triple, Pike will be down at third and Filiberto up. She had a fielder's choice and scored back in an 8-run first inning. And Filiberto, usually the pattern has been she'll be the catcher in the second game, at least for a little while. Because I expect to see Lawrence pitch game number 2. And that's attempted at a bunt. It's a strike. And again, see, by doing this now, they've drawn the infield in because very established that we are going to bunt. It's not like a fling. They're really going to do it. So now they can go to the slap. We've already seen a base hit over the drawn in infield work with a slap. And you can take the bunt right off if you want and just swing away. And she pulled the barrel of the bat back like she was going to crank on one, but that came in high for a ball. 1-1 to count. 1 down, 1 on, 8-0 bottom of the second. CSJ at the plate with the lead, looking to take game 1 of the Sunrise Conference Championship against Fisher College. That'll curve, but outside. As Newton had movement on the ball, it's just she's kind of got to find that little alley in the strike zone to get it in there. Into the windup, the windmill, and yeah. Now it's not automatic that she's not going to bunt just because there's 2 strikes. That's kind of been that old myth has been busted here in the last 3 to 4 years in high school and college softball that I've been doing. And I like it. I like the new Mavericks, the Rebel coaches who start new trends. And she shows bunt. I expect her to come back to slap though, and she will square, and that's going to work. That's going to work. No, I thought they were going to tag and send Pike, and she won't. Blanchard will make the catch. She'll hit cutoff. Whitcomb, and they'll get the out on the fly ball. So 2 down now, and Pike at third base. That'll be a fly out to Blanchard, and Rubel up. She walked and scored. I said not a lot of contact off Newton in that first inning. It was either a walks or errors, or just misjudgment on what to do with the ball after you fielded it. But CSJ in the danger of wasting a 1-out triple by Pike. Rubel, a good contact hitter though. And she showed discipline right there. Give out the White Birch Realty Player of the Game. I'd like to thank White Birch Realty again for sponsoring the donated t-shirts for Players of the Game. They did it for basketball. It was a big hit with the students, and they're doing it here for softball. And that's going to be base hit. You'll see Rubel will drive in the run, and Pike will touch the base right there, and Rubel will be down at first base with an RBI. Tell you what, Rubel has impressed me. I haven't seen her play before this season, but she fields well. She plays defensive positions very well. And she seems to really get along well with her teammates. Good chemistry on the bench area. Doesn't seem to be one of those players that makes Coach Sraney pull her hair out. Streeter wanted to pump it down to first, and she's done it a couple times today. Like I said, wicked arm on her. Can throw the ball real hard, real accurate. And if trend is what it was last week, I expect to see Streeter pitch the second game. There's a throw down to first, and just barely had to throw with Rubel. She kind of got to the bag and then stumbled back and almost left the bag with contact, and she will be safe. It's a 9-0 game right now. CSJ with the lead. And 2 down though. And the Kia Vincent. Oh. Yeah, not only did that have a little more pop on it, but it had a nice bend to it, so it broke outside. And Vincent, and you can see right there, she watched the disc, or the TV. She took her head off the ball. She was looking at third base when she got done halfway through her swing. Good job by Streeter going down and low and get that pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Munger Vision bringing you college softball action as well as boys varsity baseball action from Coach Carter's Mounties and also Coach Gary McDonald and his undefeated Mill River girls squad. That's going to be a ball. And Vincent, no doubt about it. Now push Rubel down to second base. Now bring up Lisa Lawrence with an RBI single and scored it in the first inning. Saw 12 hitters come to the plate for CSJ. Now last week in game number 2, Lawrence went to 5 innings and got the win in the pitcher's position, and she got the White Birch Realty Player of the Game. And good stop by Streeter again. I thought she went to the backhand stop. Like I should play shortstop also, and we've seen her pitch. Oh, I have, so. The outfield, very deep in center, and then shallow in left, shallow in right. Lawrence will be brushed back as that one came in tight for a 2-ball, no strike count. She has yet to show the bunt or the slap. So Newton looking to get out of this inning with just the 1 run coming in. And that's going to happen. Drops in. Yeah. See another run coming in. No, they're going to hold her up. Okay. They're going to leave the bases loaded. Rubel will stay down at second base, so that will juice him up for the top of the order. So Lawrence 2 for 2 and Landsberg up. She has been up twice, both in the first inning, made outs both times. She was also a White Birch Realty Player of the Game this season. And you can see the long look in from Newton. If she can get out of this mess with just the 1 run, she would have done a good job. She'd had a runner at third with 1 out for a long time here this inning and only has surrendered the 1 run. So it's 9-0 now in the bottom of the second. Fisher College trying to make a defensive play here to get the 3rd out and hope that momentum would carry over to the top of the 3rd offensively for him. Oh, that was killed. Oh, what a grab down there. That happens so fast, they'll save it. And you only get the 1 run in. It'll be 9-0 CSJ with the lead as, again, another strong hit, but no rewards for it. That's Olivero who made that nice snag at third base. You're looking at Melissa Pike, the left-handed pitcher for CSJ, and she's going to be looking at Michelle Olivero. And there's Olivero right there for Fisher College, and again, she stabbed that line drive out of the air off the bat of Landsberg. That would definitely scored 1, if not 2 or more runs. And again, Pike remains antsy as she couldn't settle in on a sign with Tompkins, and Tompkins, she just doesn't take a lot of guff. She'll be back there and straighten things out on the signs right now, and she'll tell Pike what she's going to throw. 8 runs in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second. That's where we stand right now with CSJ up 9-0. Mercy rule works like this. The team who is behind has to have 5 full at-bats. They have to be behind by 8 or more runs, and then the mercy rule can be invoked. That'll be fouled back and out of play. And we're going to have the on-deck hitter of Jackie Streeter, then Nicole Blanchard due up. So Pike and CSJ trying to get the lead here in the series, up, trying to get up 1-0. Well, it's just a good job of keeping the head on the ball. Getty will look, and make the catch in center field. And that will be a fly out to the center fielder, Vicky Getty, for the first out of the 3rd inning. Yeah, so for the 2nd time in 3 innings, Pike will retire the leadoff batter. Now Streeter up. The catcher for Fisher College. And she got on right there. Streeter, a lot of speed. She get the bat on the ball. She puts a lot of pressure on the defense to make the play clean on the infield. Oh, she was going for center Rutland. Well, actually, that's the wrong direction. She was going to go, oh, I need to be a Boy Scout. I need a compass. Well, I guess if you hit far enough, she could end up in Wallingford. But there's Clarendon's must be closer. And that little bit of a change up, and that's going to be over the head, and Edge is going to chase it, and this could turn into the first run of the game for Fisher College. See Streeter with that speed. She's got a nice compact. Oh, they held her up. Look at that throw, too. That was a good decision down there by the head coach, Hayes, as Streeter crushed that over the left fielder's head. Amy Edge, and time she chased it down, it was a one-out triple. But you see Streeter, she had a real compact stride. Her arms didn't wave around. She didn't waste a lot of energy with her legs making extra motion. And now Blanchard up with Newton on deck, and Fisher College has had runners on base the first 3 innings, and they've got to bring one in now. In a 5-inning mercy rule in college, you're running out of time in the 3rd. There's a strike from Pike. See if Pike can crank it up here, and she's usually a big strikeout pitcher. In the games that I've covered her, she's hasn't struck out less than 9, I believe, in any game. But she is going to make the play. Oh, she got first base. That's the play to make. Yeah, and they'll throw it away. Now the run will come in, and Streeter, yeah, dead ball will have it, and they'll give the base to second base to Blanchard. And I told you, Pike just hasn't looked like Pike. She snagged the ball very, very well. On the initial line drive, that was a good play right there, just to snag the ball. And now Newton up, so it goes to 9-1 now, and then comebacks have to start somewhere. Tompkins barking out the instructions from behind the plate, and that's going to be high for a ball. When Pike throws hard today, she's overthrowing actually. It's not a natural motion. And I haven't seen her struggle all season. And now she'll knock that down. She's got the one play, and they got the runner at first. That's Filiberto with the snag. The runner does move up to 3rd. And I'll tell you, you can tell the timing on the hitters because those are line drives up the middle. So 2 down, runner moves up to 3rd, 1 run in, 9-1. CSJ with the lead, and Jessica Augusta up. She walked in her only at bat. But no, when you can get the bat on the ball, that's not, technically that's not pulling the ball, but when you're driving it up the middle like that with some ferociousness, you're pretty much got it pretty zeroed in. And there's a strike from Pike, inside corner. Yeah, to this point, she's got 3 strikeouts in 3 innings, but she just hasn't looked comfortable in the circle, or consistently comfortable. Which sounds silly to say with a 9-1 lead. But Fisher College has stranded 4 runners in not quite 3 innings, and they don't want to make it 5 in 3 innings. That's going to be down to Filiberto through the hole. They'll have an RBI. And that's going to be driven right through the glove of Filiberto. Made a diving attempt at first base, and now they're starting to get those timely contacts here. So it goes 9-2, and Whitcomb up. Whitcomb reached on a fielder's choice. Now, I didn't get the lowdown on it, but yesterday the Saints played Skidmore College in the makeup game from earlier in the season, and I do not know how they made out on that. I should have asked Coach that. And sometimes you talk to coaches, they like back-to-back games. Don't forget in college, talking about back-to-back doubleheaders. Other coaches like that break between games, a day off. I think with such a small squad, not a lot of depth, I would rather have the day off in between. Even in softball, they say you don't work your arm like an overhand fastball throwing baseball pitcher, but you're still human, and your knees and your lower back get worked out and you just get fatigued. And we're going to have a time called, and we're going to have a meeting with everybody. We'll have Tompkins go out and try straight out Pike, and Whitcomb will go down and talk to Coach Hayes. And now Filiberto getting in on the action too. Okay, so we've had a lot of conferences. This looks like a Democratic National Convention, and oh, what a changeup. What a changeup. That's what they talked about. That will bring it down. 2 runs in for Fisher College. They'll be down 9-2 going into the bottom of the 3rd. You see Getty talking to head coach Lori Serrani as we get set for the bottom of the 3rd. 9-2 now. Fisher College able to make some progress, cutting into that lead to CSJ. And Vicky Getty up at the plate. The center fielder from the right side waits for Newton, and Sonia Newton will bounce it in, and it'll be short for ball 1. No, you know the old rule. After coming back with a couple runs in the top of this inning, you don't want to give them back in the bottoms. So they're looking for a scoreless inning here. After falling behind 9 runs, they're looking for a lot of scoreless innings defensively, and she'll come in short again. Now, see, the thing about Newton is I watch her in her warm-ups between innings, and she was throwing the ball very well. Right now, she's just having a problem with the batters. It's where you've got to really have tunnel vision, and that's between you and the catcher now. Just forget the batters up there. Oh, that's going to be down to third. To first, and he'll have the leadoff batter retired on that 5-3 ground out, and that's going to be a course hit over to third base. Olivero, who's made some nice plays defensively. Scheduled for 7, and now Tompkins up. She's been on base once today and scored, and she grounded out to third the last time up. So the catcher, Tompkins, waits to pitch from Newton. Right now they're losing their patience at the plate with Newton. They said she doesn't throw with a lot of heat. She throws in the 40s, but she'll move around inside, outside, a little up, a little down. It's hard to just keep that weight back. And that's going to be face hit right down the third baseline, and Tompkins takes a big turn at first, and she'll stay over at first base as they did get the ball in relatively quick. And I'll bring up Tahara Pleasure now. Now watch all the strategy go into place. Pleasure has walked and scored and then grounded out to second base. So Newton, this would be a tough double play combination with Tompkins with good speed at first and Pleasure at home base with good speed. But see if they go to bunt, slap, swing away, steals. Now they'll make the defense think and move and shift and get preoccupied with all the options instead of being able to key on just their position. And well, I'll go further on that detail. Yeah, there's a ball. There's a throw down, and just ahead of the throw is Tompkins. Like with CSJ, when Fisher gets people on base, if you're at third base or shortstop or second base defensively, all you have to worry about is getting the ball hit the field net because you don't have to shift and cover bag or circle in, or because they're not showing any running game. There's the bunt. Olivero. And I'm not sure. Olivero, nobody covered the bags. What happened? She came up with the ball clean. And that's just inexcusable at this college level. A simple bunt with a runner at first. Nobody covered the bag. So what should became the second out now has it at first and second with just one down, and Melissa Pike up. She has walked and scored and tripled and scored. Pike with 4 strikeouts in the ball game also. Chance to regain that Mercy Rule lead, and boy, that's a good pitch. Tell you what though, that dropped in from the right-handed pitcher to the left-handed batter. It came in from the inside out. That was a good pitch as far as from the pitcher's perspective. It really wasn't one that Pike let get by her. That was a pitcher's pitch. I don't think you can pick it up, but oh, that's going to be crushed. That's going to go. That's a gapper, and you're going to score Tompkins. She'll come around third base, and there is the 10th run. They're going to hold up the runners at first and third. Yeah, Whitcomb will run the ball into the circle as Pike, that now becomes a dead ball. So Pike will drive in another run here. As Tompkins came in with the 10th run. And Maria Filiberto up. So Filiberto with a 10-2 game at the plate for CSJ in the bottom of the third, and runners at second and third. I'm sorry, first and third, apologize. Yeah, and that's a strike there. Oh, I got to tell you, with runners, even if it's Pike, and we've seen her running skills on a triple, and I'm only picking on her. I'd still send her first and third, one down. You got to either make the throw and see if something can happen for you. Make the throw to second, see if you can get the runner home from third, or that'll be. She brought the ball back before the ball got there, and that's gonna be a ball. And again, see all the movement in the camera behind the second baseman, the third shortstop, the third base. Everybody's getting out of position, worrying about other things besides just making a clean field because of the presence of the threat of a running game. And that's going to be a base hit, and that'll score a run. That was over the top of Olivero. Why? Because she was in tight at the corner waiting for the bunt. If she's back even with the bag, that's going to be caught, but she can't have that luxury because CSJ has shown that they will definitely. So Filiberto will get an RBI single. I bring up Rubel now. And Rubel, her last time up, she's walked and scored, and she's also singled in and had an RBI. So Rubel will put that into play. That's going to be the pitcher. And I don't understand. Yeah, there's one play. And they, again, the decision-making, dead ball. Now allow the runner to come home. So Pike will come in with the third running of the inning and also give Filiberto third base on the dead ball. And second base. See, to me at that point, you're down all these runs. You've only got the one out. There's one play. Get the second out at first. Don't make the inning keep bleeding. That's what I'm talking about, decision making with the ball. And that's going to be to the bat. That's going to be out of play. That's dead ball. Yeah. Yeah, so Filiberto will be allowed home base on it as it got out of play. It's a wild pitch. Runner also, Rubel, will go down to third. And that's going to be ball one in the key of Vincent. She has walked twice, scored once. We got a 13-2 score here in favor of CSJ in the Sunrise Conference Championship. Game number 1. And that's to center, and did they catch it? Oh, they did catch it. Yeah, they almost had a collision. The runner tagged up, and Rubel will be in with the run. Oh, they said she left the bag early. She'll become the third out. That'll end the inning, and it goes 13-2. And Coach Serrani going to argue the call here. Well, not as much as she argues, yeah. Let's look at Pomerino, and Pomerino at the plate has struck out her only plate appearance. And she'll take a swinging strike there. Remember, they had her attempt the bunt for strike 1, then she swung away, strike 2. And then she was in a hole at 0-2 at that point and just got overpowered by Pike. Strike 2 right there. Pike with a strikeout in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. She's got 4 strikeouts going into the 4th inning. The Mercer back into play now at 13-2. Oh, just watched it. Down 0-2, you got to get the bat off the shoulder. Oh, that drove me nuts as a coach. So Pike will have a strikeout, at least 1 per inning, and now Quartis up, and she reached on a fielder's choice back in the second. Okay, they've stranded 5 runners at the plate, Fisher College has, or on base, I'm sorry. Landsberg at third, Pleasure at short, Lawrence at second, Filiberto at first, Rubel is in right, Getty's in center, and Edge is in left. That'll be a foul ball out of play for a strike. Even if it wasn't out of play, it'd be a strike. They're leaving the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. On a warm summer-like day here in the spring, we're watching the Sunrise Conference Championship, game number 1 on Public Access Television, your real leader in local sports coverage. Oh, nice discipline at bat by Cortos. She tried to bring a little rise ball up and in, and she would not offer at the pitch out of the strike zone. And that's going to be caught by Rubel. Rubel pretty automatic out there. Again, we'll have the White Birch Realty Player of the Game, whether we'll have it at the end of this game or at the end of game number 2. Sometimes it's easier strategically at the end of the first game, or second game, I'm sorry. Top of the order, Villamere up now. She is grounded out to Pleasure at short and then struck out in the second. So Pike looking for a 1-2-3 fourth, and it'll be her first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. She's been in this position before, got the first 2 outs, and then struggled a little bit finding that third out. And the lefty. All set. Will be high again for 2 balls, no strikes. Again, Villamere represents the top of the order with Olivero on deck. And she'll miss outside. So she's come up inside twice and missed, went outside low and missed, and down 3-0. And again, I would expect to see Lawrence pitch game number 2, even though I don't know that for sure. And that time Pike purposely took something off the pitch, and that landed right in there nice and gently into the glove of Tompkins. And again, probably the best pitch to hit in the count at 3-0, and they let it go by. They do it at the baseball games too. I don't get it. And she'll walk her. So again, she will not have a 1-2-3 inning. And Olivero has struck out and flied out to center field where Vicky Getty made the catch. And Tompkins checking over with Coach Serrani on the bench to the defensive play they want to put on here. There's a crowd coming in. Nice day to come and watch a ball game. As we fouled out of play. Strike one in the count. Getting a lot of sports still coming up on Munger Vision. Like I said, Glenn Carter's MSJ boys varsity squad having a good start to their season. I also have Mill Rivers girls softball team having another good start to their season. Two quality teams right on Munger Vision on PEGTV, Channel 15 Sports. Got the Thunderbirds Bujani AAU basketball tournament coming up. That's the May 11th weekend. You can catch that live. You'll also be able to see a lot of those games on Munger Vision on PEGTV Channel 15 Sports. And then June 29th, we'll have the All-Star game, high school boys All-Star basketball game. And the runner will be down in, standing up on that wild pitch. So Olivero doesn't want to leave that runner down at second base. That'll be their sixth runner left on base if it happens in 4 innings. And 4 of those runners right now are in scoring position. Ooh. And Pike again tickling the corner but not getting the call. And Fisher College showing good patience at the plate, making her come in with strikes. So a 2-2 count. 2 down, 1 on, and gee, that was low. That was a good call. So Pike will run it to another full count. She's had a lot of 3-ball counts here today. She's got 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Would like to get number 6 right here and head to the bench. And she got it. That'll end the threat. They'll strand another runner, and it's going to be 13-2 CSJ to lead going into the bottom of the 4th. First substitution in the ball game for CSJ, Megan Giddings will come to bat. She'll hit for Lisa Lawrence here in the bottom of the 4th. CSJ with 8 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and even with my Rutland High School diploma, that's still 13 runs. And again, that I believe the date, I want to double check it, is June 29th for that high school all-star boys basketball game being held here at CSJ's athletic complex. Oh, that should be fun. Seriously, get out. That's right here in your backyard, right in Rutland County. Get out and watch that. That'd be a good experience as they record the changes on the book for Fisher College. Again, Giddings, I remember her playing for Otter Valley Union High School. And they are set. Streeter will squat back behind the home base, getting the catcher's position, and Newton out there in the circle. She needs an easy inning here, because if CSJ can get to the top half of the 5th and retire Fisher College and maintain at least an 8-run lead, they will win the first game on the mercy rule. That's going to be a chance to drop in, and that's going to be a base hit for Giddings. And she'll run through the bag and be at first base on Landsberg up, who's hit the ball very hard today, but doesn't have a base hit to show for it. So yet again, they'll get the leadoff batter on. Like I said, Landsberg has grounded out 5-3. She's reached on a fielder's choice, and she had a wicked line drive to third base where Olivero made the play on her. 13-2 the score in the bottom of the 4th. Shows bump, pulls a bat back, pitch sailed outside, ball 1. Again, Whitcomb is down at first base defensively. Palmerino is at second. Villamar is at short. Olivero is at third. Streeter's behind the dish. Augusta, Blanchard, and Cortes as the outfield. And that's Landsberg, who's already been a White Birch Realty Player of the Game at the plate. Pike has, the pitcher, also been a White Birch Realty Player of the Game, and that's going to be doing it. That's going to get her first base hit of the game, and I'll put runners at first and second. So Landsberg with the big turn. And Vicky Getty, there she is coming up now at the plate for the Fighting Saints. They will get set. White table's set for another big inning, and Getty up there, she has singled and scored, walked, got stranded at third, then grounded out to third. You see Olivero coming in at the corners at third base and also at first with Whitcomb. There's the bunt, and oh, that was almost the most perfect bunt, but it did kick foul down the first baseline. It'll be a strike. Runners go back. Giddings to second. And Landsberg back to first. And Getty wanted to talk to Coach Serrani, and our coach and umpire Steve Morrow telling us they had her one visit. I think there might have been a miscommunication on the sign there. I'm not sure. And that, boy, they very lucky that she pulled off the ball. It was going to be foul all the way, and she almost touched it in fair territory. So it'll be 2 strikes now. And again, not an automatic thing to pull the bunt off with the 2 strikes. Getty, though, one of those players that you really feel confident about with 2 strikes on her, as far as just really, I don't know if she focuses it more, has to bear down more or what, but she's good with 2 strikes on her. And that's where she sits right now. And good eye right there. That was high and a tad bit outside. And Palmanero was trying to sneak in behind the runner at second. Giddings didn't draw the throw, and everything just goes back to where it was a second ago. That's going to be a solid hit up the middle to center field. And they're going to hold the runner as the throw will come all the way through. And boy, a good thing they held the runner. Streeter will come up, make the tag. And now Tompkins coming up with the bases juiced for CSJ. So yeah, nobody down, and just a hitter you want up there in Tompkins, or as her teammates affectionately refer to her as Snacks. So now Newton in the bottom of the 4th in a big jam. Oh, Tompkins, little anxious. Her eyes got big. It's on that rise ball. That'll be an 0-1 count. And Tompkins, very senior, leave the yard once this year in the ball game. I think it was the Johnson State game. And she does a nice piece of hitting. It's going to be at least 1 run coming in. And Giddings will score. And here comes Landsberg with the 15th run. And they're going to hold the ball now. And watch Tompkins. She's going to go down to second. That's just good, aggressive base running. Like I said, you don't see that from Fisher College. So Giddings scores, run number 14. 15th run is Landsberg. Getty ends up at third, and Tompkins will be at first. Tompkins has already been a White Birch Realty Player of the Game. And Tahara Pleasure going through her pre-at-bat ritual of cleaning the plate off. Is all set. So it's 15-2 CSJ in the bottom of the 4th. Game number 1, the Sunrise Conference Championship game, brought to you exclusively by Munger Vision. And again, the players of the game after this by White Birch Realty. I'd like to take this opportunity and just tell you what a good sports season it's been since Coach and Athletic Director Mark Benetatis, well, he's always coached to me. That's to the backstop. And Getty will just beat it and be safe. She'll have run number 16, and Tompkins will move down to third base now. But no, Mark Benetatis, very professional. Everything, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Everything's always set and good, and just such a good situation now to come down here and do a game, whether it's for basketball or softball or the upcoming soccer season. Been a pleasure having Mark Benetatis back again. That's off the catcher's glove. Newton's got a chance. No, they should just eat it. Yep. As Tompkins will score, and Pleasure will have, in my book, unofficially a base hit. As that's run number 17. And Melissa Pike up in Pike today. She's been busy. She's had a triple and a single, and she scored 3 times. And they sent 12 batters to the plate in the first inning, and they're on their way now to another big inning as they've. No one recorded it out yet. It's going to be bunted right back to the pitcher. And no, see, right there, I just understand what they're doing. They're trying to get a double play, but the ball wasn't hit hard enough to get the double play, and the throw wasn't going to be thrown hard enough to second base to get the double play. They should have just gone to first, got the out, and try to not extend the inning. Yeah, so 17-2, and Filiberto coming up now. She had an RBI single and scored in the third. We're in the fourth. They got to catch up to the book now. There's a lot of paperwork being done in this ball game. And that'll be a ball. Well, I got to tell you the truth. Before the ball game, I was watching two teams, and CSJ, I don't want to say they were loose. I don't want to say they were kind of fooling around, but they certainly were loose. And I was worried about that. Fisher College was over there fielding, hitting, chatting it up, getting everything all business-like. And man, oh man, 17-2 CSJ. I can see why they were loose before the ball game. That's a confident team. That's a nice stop by Streeter. She went up and snagged that one. And Filiberto with a 2-1 count. As is typical, she'll show bunt, bring the bat back, go to slap, and the ball will fade outside. So 3-1 count, and just the fact they've gone the distance with Newton to this point, I have no doubt that they're going to finish the game out with her. And I would be extremely surprised if I don't see Streeter pitch game number 2. That's playable. I don't know if it's going to be catchable. No, it's going to drop in and then kick away, and they're going to still see. They're lucky they didn't throw the ball away. At that point, the runner's at third, bring it in to cutoff, and don't risk an error throwing the ball out of play. So base is loaded again for Jessica Rebel, and Rebel has been making contact. He's done a good job on the bases. And Rebel will take ball 1. Both teams have made the pitchers throw pitches, throw strikes today. Fisher College, very obvious to me against Pike that she has made them come into the strike zone. Now they'll be outside for a ball. Nowhere to put her. Bases are loaded. 2 balls, no strikes. And the big number 2 is there is nobody out in this inning. Yeah, and she watched that one coming all the way for a 3-1 or 3-0 count. Yep, and Newton got to bring the meatball in and watch. They'll be taken all the way, 3-0. Oh, I love it. They gave her the green light, and there was a good pitch, and she just swung through. I love the fact that the coach broke the norm and let her swing away on what probably will be the best pitch of the sequence. No, that's a good pitch right there, and she had a rip at that, and there'll be a full count now. And that was a good swing. She kept her head down on the ball, and nice level swing. So a 3-2 count, the base is juiced, and nobody down, 17-2, CSJ, the pitch on the way. And that's put into play. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so Rebel will be on base, another run coming in, and Nakia Vincent up now. And I'm waiting to see if Giddings will come on to hit. Remember, she started this whole inning off. That's the short, snag, knocked down, bobbled, kicked, and tell you, everything but fielded. Yep, they are a frustrated team right now. Fisher Colleges. Yeah, so Giddings up, and like I said, she started this whole inning off. She is the 9th batter to come to the plate, and there is nobody out. And that's going to drop in. Oh, just fall. Yep. So Giddings will get back in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs in this inning. 19-2 CSJ. And Giddings all set. And that's going to be a foul ball down the, slapped it down that first baseline. And should be down in the count on 1-2. So this reset the stage, and it's Fisher College trying to regroup here, ready for game number 2. If CSJ wins both games today, that'll be the Sunrise Conference Championship to them, and there'll be no need for a game 3 on Sunday, the rubber game of the match. But got to take care of game 1, and they're doing that right now at 17-2 in the 4th. Oh, they got it. They got the out at home, but I don't understand the easier play, but that one's actually hard enough too. I'm just trying to tag up. Everybody's moving up. So Landsberg up. She has singled and scored here in this inning already. She's back up for the second time. And the bases loaded, but 1 out now. That is twice today that they've gone around the order. It made me move everything up an extra box in my scorebook. That's going to be fouled. Down the third baseline and foul. Picked up by Olivero. And that'll even everything out now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Giddings at first, Vincent at second, and Rebel at third. And that's going to be high and outside. Newton right there looked like she's trying to put a little extra oomph on the ball, and it came up and out well out of the strike zone. Getting us at that release point. Well, CSJ got out and made a statement early. They scored 8 runs in the first inning, and they've really never looked back. And so Newton with the pitch, and that's going to be to the left fielder, and she'll pick it up. She's got to play at third, and they didn't bring the ball at third. Yeah, that's what it happened. They had a chance actually for a double play on that, but they'll settle for the out. As Vincent will become the second out on a play she kind of fell asleep on out there. So Rubel came in. Vincent is out. Landsberg should be at first, yeah. And Vicky Getty up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 19, 20-2 CSJ. See, I didn't watch. I did the doubleheader last week between these same 2 colleges, and I told you they're both 5-inning mercy ruled games, CSJ with the wins, but I just watched the mistakes made, and I'm like, that can't be a typical outing for Fisher College, but boy. That one will be a ball. You can see Streeter wanted to bring the ball down to first, just couldn't get it out of her glove clean. And Getty in there, that 1-1 count. She's got runners at first and second. There are 2 outs now. Oh, she killed it. That is just creamed. Run number 21 coming around. Yes. So Giddings will score on the double by Getty, and it'll go 21-2 now, CSJ. I'm looking for Landsberg. She ends up down at third. Getty is at second. And Tompkins up for the second time this inning. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 runs, 12, 20, 21, yes, 21-2 CSJ in a rout now. Am I surprised? Not by the win and not by the dominance, but just by the score. I mean, there's dominance, and then there's just whoa. Today they've hit whoa. And that's going to continue it. That's a straight shot up the middle. And it gets past the outfielder, and Tompkins will run. You see the 2 runs coming in. Tompkins going to be waved around third. Yep. They're going to send her home, and this will clean the bases up, and yep, she'll score. So she'll have the single and then the error. But with 2 down, we'll get rid of all the base runners for the pitcher, Newton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 runs this inning. 24-2 unofficially. CSJ with the lead, and Tahara Pleasure coming up to the plate. And yeah, if you're Fisher College. I mean, Streeter doing a good job of trying to keep her pitcher's head up in the game, just get that last out. And basically, at this point, really, just start thinking about game number 2. Wrap this one up in a bag, throw it in the trash, and just go to game number 2 if you're Fisher College. Get things even at 1 game apiece. Yeah, and Pleasure liked that one, but couldn't believe she let it go by. So an 0-1 count. And the pitch will be ball 1. So a 1-1 count, and again that hit by Tompkins was a base hit, and then the error occurred after. That's what allowed her to come around. And that is going to be another base hit, as they are just in the zone hitting right now, and Pleasure ripping it down to first base. Will take the big turn and stay down at first base. And now Melissa Pike up. And I don't know, it's been so long since she's gone back out to the circle to pitch this inning, if she'll remember. So Pike up for the second time in the 4th inning. They're actually flirting with sending the order around to a 3rd time this inning. And Newton, just a little off the plate. And, yeah, and Pleasure back ahead of the throw. I didn't even move the camera, so. But Pike, again, has been making real good contact with the ball all season long. We'll do that there. It's down to second. They'll get the 3rd out. That's the inning. 24-2. CSJ just 3 outs away from taking game number 1 of the Sunrise Conference Champion Tournament. Off here for Fisher College, and I don't even want to tell you what they need because I don't know if I can do that much math. CSJ, though, they're in position in the game after 5 because of the mercy rule. They're up 24-2. And it's just going to take a bunch of runs to get that thing down below 8-run lead. And that'll be off the dirt and to the backstop and picked up by Tompkins. A couple changes as Kayla Humes has come in to play right field, number 10 for CSJ. Giddings has stayed in the ball game. Remember, she batted in the last inning, and she's going to be at first base defensively. Landsberg will slide over to second. Pleasure stays at short, and they bring Rubel over to 3rd, and that's popped up, and Humes going to be involved immediately in the ball game. And the ball will drop in front of her, and it'll be picked up and tossed into second, and that's going to put Streeter at second base now to lead off this 5th inning. Yeah, so Blanchard up now. She's reached on the air twice and scored a run. Pike with 6 strikeouts in the contest, and she shouldn't be antsy now. She's got a 24-2 lead in the 5th inning. She should just rear back and fire. That'll be a ball. Again, the pitching matchup in the 2nd game is speculation, but I'm expecting Lawrence and Streeter out there for their teams in a circle, but that, again, that's just speculation. That'll be a ball to Blanchard. That one came in high. Yeah, and Blanchard, I'm sure, will become the catcher in the 2nd game for Fisher College. And Rubel down there at 3rd base. And Nakia Vincent has gone to left field. And I believe that is all the changes in this inning defensively for CSJ. And that's playable by Landsberg. There's the 1st out. She'll make the catch, turn, check the runner back, and 1 out away from taking game 1 of this Sunrise Conference Championship game. Now Sonia Newton, she's grounded out to second and grounded out to the pitcher. As Pike will go the distance yet again, and she has in every ballgame that I've seen her pitch. And she's also made some relief appearances. She'll kick and fire, and got her up the ladder. Chased it up the ladder for a swinging strike. And that'll make it a 1-1 count. And tell you what, Sonia Newton has showed me what a resilient and good character person she is, as she stayed out there in that circle and kept pitching through those an 8-run 1st inning, an 11-run 4th inning, and never lost her dignity. Ball strike right down the pipe from Pike. And she'll have her at 2 strikes now. As she's had at least 1 strikeout per inning. She's got 6 for the ball game. She's got 1 out and 1 on here in the 5th. And she shook out the 1st sign, goes to the 2nd choice, and the pitch just high. Yeah, came in across the letters. And she'll go back to a full count now. On a sunny day. Something we haven't seen a lot of in Vermont. And that is straight up, and Vincent will make the catch for out number 2. So Nakia Vincent getting a lot of congratulations there, and Melissa Pike with 2 outs here. And Jessica Augusta up. She has walked and singled. She also has an RBI in the ball game. See Pike composing herself behind the circle. Well, behind the rubber in the circle, and the pitch. And this could be the ball game. Pike could put an end to it, and they'll win the first game of the series, 24-2. The White Birch Realty player of the game is Jessica Rubel, and we might have her when we get done here with this fade. We're still a one-man operation, but Jessica Rubel is the White Birch Realty player of the game for game number 1. I got to tell you, before the game started, you guys looked very relaxed, very loose.
Yeah.
And I was kind of worried about that. Talk about the mood coming into the game and then the dominance by your team.
Yeah, we were all really excited. You know, we were ready to play, and we just wanted to get out there and get a win. So that's what we've been looking for.
Oh, you guys set the tone with an 8-run first inning, but you personally put the bat on the ball solid the whole ball game. Not that you played bad in the beginning of the year, but you seem to be hitting stride right when you want to be hitting stride.
Yeah. I've had some trouble in high school. You know, I came out of that. I've worked on hitting. Coach has gotten me to the point where, you know, I don't pull out. I'm doing everything right, mechanics. So once I got that down, I started hitting.
You know, you've got a nice level stroke, and you're on top of all the pitches. Defensively, we've seen you in the outfield. You made a couple nice plays out in the outfield. Then the last inning, you got brought into third base.
Yep.
Not a bad change. See a little scenery change out there.
Yep.
If you had your choice in the second game, where would you like to see yourself plugged in?
Well, I was usually an infielder in high school, but I've been really comfortable in the outfield, so probably out there helping the team out.
And then I don't know if you can answer this or not, but the 24-2 win in the first game. If you win game number 2, CSJ will win the Sunrise Conference champion.
Yep.
Repeat from last year. Is that a good thing to win by so much in the first game? What will the tendency be going into the second game after such a one-sided victory in the first game?
I think that, you know, we might be thinking that we're a little on top of the game, but we're definitely going to be ready. We're going to be working hard, so everyone's really excited to just go in and play and get out there.
All right, well,
work hard.
White Birch Realty player of the game, thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck in game number 2.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.